All right, so what we were doing here is the AC line replacement for a 2018 GMC Yukon. Here's the new one right here. Make sure you don't got any dents. Last time we got this thing, there was a huge dent right here. You couldn't even install it. We had to get another one from the manufacturer to make sure we had the right part. First, you're going to be disconnecting your negative battery terminal. And this is a number 10. You always want to disconnect the negative, not the positive. Here's the negative. Pop your covers off. There's a little clip right here. Pop that off. And then this, tricky, you just slide out like that. And then you're gonna need to take out these 3 lines. You see the AC compressor hose? You're gonna need to take out all 3 of these. Those look like a 14, I believe. All 3 of these, you'll need a number 13 millimeter deep weld socket for all 3 of these. Well, actually this bad boy, you're gonna need a box wrench. You see that there. And make sure you put these back on right. See, all 3 of these wires go back in the right spot. It's a little tight, but yeah, you can do it. Easy peasy. See, now that you got these 3 off, it gives you access to pull this line out. See, this is completely blocked. Now you can pull that out. After you do that, you're going to want to take the air box out, which involves disconnecting this sensor. You just pop up on this tab and then push in right there. Pops off like so. Put that off over to the side. And you got 1 screw right here. You can take this whole air box out. For this, you'll either need a flathead screwdriver or an 8 millimeter nut driver. Pop this off like so. Pull that off to the side. And then your whole air box will pop out just like that. Now you got some room to get down here. You're gonna have, it's gonna be impossible to see. There is 1 nut right down here. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see that, but keep feeling all the way down. There's 1 nut. Way down in there. You're gonna need to get. You can just follow the AC lines or the compressor lines, and there's 1 more right here that you're gonna be able to get also, which you cannot see at all. These are all number 13s. You're gonna have a nut right there, and your other one is gonna be right there. Do you see it? Right at the tip of my finger. So what went wrong is in this system, you see this Schroeder valve, it doesn't have the pin in it. So all of the coolant, all of the Freon has slowly leaked out of this, and that's why there's nothing in the AC system. Now, I already know that this system's been evacuated, so we're not gonna have to do anything with that. This is that bolt right. You see this line? This line feeds into the side. That's why there's a nut right there. Tip of my fingers on it right there. You need to get that one out. And then one more you're gonna have to feel for. This line right here. You just follow this line. It'll lead you right to it, right there. See, I've already taken this one off. That should pop right out. The other nut, right here. Get that bad boy out. And disconnect that from there. Last, you see that this is your next bolt right here. You follow this AC line down. I don't know if you can see this. You see this line right here. You follow this down. Right underneath it, and there's your nut right there. Here's a good view. There's the nut right there. We're gonna be taking, I've already gotten the nut off. So now this whole piece should slide out just like that. And you can see way down in there, right in there where the tip of my finger is, that's your last, well, second to last bolt. We're gonna try to get that one now. Here's a little bit better of a camera angle. See my socket wrench? It is on that bottom nut. Right there. Can't quite get it off yet. It's hard to see, but it is actually not that hard to get off. This last one is right here. I don't know if you can see that, most likely not, but it is right here. See where my finger's moving? It's right there. All you have to do is follow this line all the way down, and it will run you directly into that nut. So when you pull, I do want you to see this, when you pull this out, there's actually two pieces. You see this one piece? This piece comes out. It's not attached. Here's where your bolt was. See this? This just slides out. So when you slide this, when you put this back on, you have to make sure that you slide this in and it's flush, and then you mount it back. And now, in theory, oh, there's one more small bolt right here. Right down in here. That's holding this clamp. There's one more number 10 millimeter. It is right there. Do you see that? You have to undo that one because that allows you to take this entire thing out. You see this clamp? That is the bolt that you just unscrewed. That one right there. And now, flip that under there. You should. And look how it comes out, all right? The whole thing is flipped. See how it turns like that? The whole thing is flipped. So now that we've got all that out, we can go down here and pull that out. Pull this whole system up. And that is how you get the whole thing out. The installation is the exact opposite of the reverse or of the removal. Just remember that this comes up, this whole thing gets flipped around, it gets installed this way. This is the piece that gets shoved all the way down in the bottom. So both of these lines, you want to flip underneath this radiator hose right here. These go underneath this radiator hose. Once you have that in there, then you can start to shove all of this back in where it goes. And that goes back in there like that. Just make sure you take all of these off. There should be a couple more on all your connections. Check all of your connections. Probably should have done that before shoving everything in here. So there's one. Next to the high pressure port valve. Here's another one right here. Just make sure you got all your nuts. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number 13s and that one number 10. So one thing I did forget to mention, do you see this line right here? This line goes on the same bolt as that compressor right there, or that condenser evaporator right there. I forget what it's called, but both of those pieces go together. Wow, you can't see anything. It's the great part about being a mechanic, at least the ladies love, the fact that you're really good with your fingers. You can feel around and find anything you need. All right, so this is the first one you take off, the last one you put back on. Nice and snug. Make sure you got them all snug. All 5. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you can see my finger right there. 3. The one you can't see right under here that follows this line. 4. And then, where are we at? Oh, there we go. There's number 5. See my finger? My finger is touching the bolt, the nut right there. Touching the tip of it. That's number 5. I'm frickin' sweating. I'm hot. Should not have done this in the garage. Figured it'd be cooler. Not the case. Don't forget to put your box back on. Don't forget to make sure that these guys get connected in the right spots. Just like that. Oh, I just crossed them. See? You see what I'm saying? See what I mean? And then these go like that, yeah. Put your airbox back on. Don't forget this bad boy when you put your airbox back on. And then you're good for Freon. Remember the color combinations. You got black, space, red and blue, red and white. There's my red and white. There's my red and blue. And do all of this before you connect the positive battery or the negative battery terminal. And with this guy, I don't know if you guys can figure this out, but just like that, boys and girls,